Hey YouTube. Well, Empire. This is episode 13. All right, the thing opens up with family sitting around the table at Lucius's house, right? Uh, Everyone's there except for Andre, who is persona non grata. Andre is not invited to the party because he tried to kill his father, right? They have not patched that up. Cookie is trying desperately to get Lucius to talk to his son. Now, what Andre did was inexcusable. I mean, he did try to murder his father, even though he saved his life at the very last minute. But we have to realize that we are sitting at a table full of murderers. They're all murderers. They all kill people. Did Hakeem kill anybody yet? Well, he'll get his notch soon, I'm sure. So that comes back to roost later on, when in an altercation between Lucius and Andre. But we'll get there when we get there. Okay, Lucius gives Cookie this. It looks decorative, but it's actually a monitoring bracelet. So he got her a gold monitoring bracelet. And he told her what it was. It checks her heart rate, her vitals, and program. He can check on her at any time to see where her numbers are. If she gets too excited, he'll get the message on his phone. This is the kind of technology we're dealing with these days. She reluctantly does it. She puts it on. Next thing we see is Miss Tiana. Tiana is being difficult. She's being, I don't like to use the B word, but if ever there was a place where it fit, this is where it fits. Miss Tiana is being evil and nasty to everyone around her. Because Eddie has promised her this wonderful project he's going to put together and produce her. So she is trying to tighten up her game, but the stress is killing her and everyone around her. So she's in this session and she's working with her dancers doing this routine, and she all of a sudden starts telling the dancers off that they're rushing the song and so forth. Becky's there saying no, it's not them. The implication is obviously it's you, honey. You're messing the song up. So she goes off on the dancers, and then moments later she goes off on the choreographer, and then she fires the choreographer, and then Hakeem steps in and she goes off on him as well. So she's under this stress and becoming a not likable person. Next thing we hear is this girl, China. China has sent the Cookie a letter or something, and she wants to meet with her. China is one of the girls from prison. So, of course, we get a couple of flashbacks from prison life in here. She's made some friends. Remember, she was there for 17 years. So she's made some very, very close friends, right? China wants to see her. China does meet with her. They reminisce a little bit, and then she tells her about Pound Cake. Pound Cake is the friend that Cookie had. They started off fighting and became friends. Cookie tried to save her baby after this guard raped the girl. Pound Cake, big girl, Pound Cake. The guard raped her and impregnated her, right? And then he took the baby, and she's been messed up about it ever since. But she made a move with this cop on Cookie. She rather throw her under the bus, shall we say, and ended up in the hole Cookie did for a long, long time, beat up and all this kind of stuff, because Pound Cake turned her in. Right, all in the effort to get this baby, find this baby that they've taken away from her. Okay. So this girl is telling China is telling Cookie that Pound Cake has got cancer and she's dying. Right? Cookie makes arrangements to go and see her. Sure enough, she's dying, and she's still obsessed with this daughter that she has yet to. I guess she met her in the hospital when she first had it, but she was out for 5 years looking for this baby and she couldn't find it. So Cookie has committed to. She goes to see Pound Cake in the hospital. She tells her she's going to find her baby and bring it to her. Of course, no baby now. She said the girl could be college age, so I guess she's 18 18 years ago or something like that. Yeah, I guess it's about 18. Anyway, whatever age she is, Pound Cake's daughter, Cookie, commits to going to find her. So Cookie hatches a plan. She wants to go and see this cop, the one who beat her up and abused her and raped Pound Cake and impregnated her and raped many of the other inmates. He lives out in the suburbs with his wife. His wife is she's not apparently naive to all this. She thinks that he has this great relationship at his work and he's helping the girls out and all this kind of stuff. And so Cookie goes and knocks on the door. They invite her in, and yeah, they try to talk around the wife initially, and then they excuse the wife. The wife excuses herself to the kitchen, and Cookie lays into him. She wants this baby. She wants to know where this baby is, and she's saying she's in a position of power now. You got nothing on me. I think she mentions the mayor or somebody in high in government because of who she is now on the outside, right? He says that there was a special place for interracial babies. They had a hard time getting them adopted in regular places. Or the kids had a hard time in regular adoption agencies. So she goes back to the car after she has this information about this place. She has a name. And then she changes her mind and decides to go back to the house. And when the wife opens the door, she tells her everything about how he was in prison, about how he was raping the girls, about how he got this girl pregnant, about everything, right? He walks up on her. That's where we left that. I mean, nothing you can do about it, but okay. Meanwhile, Andre finds more dirt on Eddie. Now, apparently Eddie has got all these companies he's set up with names that are familiar to him. You know, like you name people after your dog, after some woman in your life, one of the wives, something like that. They find out that all of these companies have names that are familiar to it, have something to do with Eddie. So Andre puts two and two together, and he comes up with Eddie is the one who owns all these companies who are buying all this stock, right? So actually all the stock is going to belong to Eddie in this deal that he's working out with this guy in Silicon Valley. So this is how Andre is trying to work his way back into the good graces of the family, right? Andre suggests that one of the companies is called something to do with Celeste, with the second wife. So they go see the second wife. She's at a tennis court, like a private tennis place with an instructor. She doesn't take to get to Lucius at all. She don't like him because Lucius introduced the third wife to Eddie while he was still married to her. So she blames Lucius for that other one coming into the picture. She's extremely hateful towards this third wife. That's going to be a key thing. Because after Lucius strikes out, she basically tells him to get out. Andre tries his hand. You know, Andre's a little charmer, and I guess he got away with women. So she does warm to Andre. And it seems a little bit down the line, they're at a restaurant, and they manipulate this girl because they know how much she hates this third wife. And is her name Celeste? I think her name is Celeste. Yeah. They make it sound like the other girl is getting a better benefit with this deal Eddie's worked out. That she's going to be working for the company and she's going to get all of these millions of dollars in salary. And when she finds that out, she flips her head, of course. That bitch, this... Oh, what? Said the word. She gets angry and she spills the beans. Eddie is broke. So whatever this thing he's doing without his own money. He don't have any money. So he's using his other guy's money in order to take over Empire, to sell it, cash in big time. So they get most of the information they need about the situation out of her, because Lucius was under the impression that Eddie was a wealthy man. He's got no money. All right, Cheyenne wants Hakeem to work with this rapper, right? This big white guy. I don't know. I'm sure he's probably a real rapper in real life. I don't know his name, but he's in the studio. Hakeem comes to the studio and says, I want you to work, Cheyenne says, I want you to work with this guy. He's good. You know, Hakeem has this, I guess, a disdain for this guy because he's white. He makes some comments like that. So he said, initially he says, no, I'm not interested. But later on, of course, this is TV drama. They do a session together, and this guy is actually a very good rapper. So Hakeem is going to mentor him. Yeah, the music is good. There's a lot of music in this episode, you know. Let's see. Patience, people. Okay, Jamal is having issues with his music. Becky and her whole crew, her staff, did these tests out in the community with Hakeem's fans. And they tell Hakeem that the fans don't like this project that you're doing. They don't like this music from you. They think it's some kind of they're not pleased with it, right? And Jamal believes in this song that he's been working on. But Becky and them are telling them basically, we don't want to hear that. Your fans don't want to hear it. And you are currently a bad boy because you've murdered people. Apparently he's murdered more than one. A couple people have died. It's bad image for the record company. And in associating with the music, it ain't working. So he's frustrated all the way through this episode. All right, next thing we see, Lucius and Andre is having a moment. Okay, Andre is doing good by uncovering Eddie, right? So, and Cookie is begging Lucius to make up with his son. So, at one point, they're in the room together. They're at Empire together. And Lucius asks his son, when did this happen? When did you turn on me? Remember when you were a kid and you hid my gun and you were always my son? And then Andre gets his time to say, he gives him the exact date that he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And he says, on that date that you turned on me. Because from that moment on, you saw me as damaged goods. You didn't treat me the same. Because Lucius had this long history with the bipolar mother. So this is where the hatred started brewing, is what he's basically saying. And then it climaxes when Andre tells his father that you are a psychopath. Lucius tells Andre that, well, you are damaged. He don't have a problem telling people what their problem is. You are damaged, you do have that thing, And Lucius said, and Andre says, well, you have a thing yourself. You're a sociopath. You're not capable of caring about anyone else. You're a sociopath, so you're as damaged as well. This gives Lucius pause. He said, well, damn, I am a sociopath. Anyway, so that ends. Next thing we see is Tori. Tori, this girl Tiana is being nasty to her too, of course. And Tori, they have it out about something. I forget what it was exactly. Tiana tells Tori that she's going to be bigger than she ever was. Remember, Tori was a big star in the company for a while, and she's trying to do a comeback. Tiana hurts her feelings, calls her a drug addict. She said, I'll do better than you, and I'll do it without drugs. This Tiana's turned out to be a real classy number. Anyway, and so Tori, we see her she goes to help Jamal. Jamal's in this slump because people don't want his music. He believes in it, but apparently no one else does. And she suggests, well, why don't you try it out in the open market? See how other people feel about it. Just try it out. And so she takes him to this club, this kind of hip hop club, and she has the DJ. He didn't want the people to know who he was. Just try the music. So they blasted me, and everybody started dancing to it. Well, that was the key thing. Do they like the music? And so Tori helped him out, and then we see Tori taking pills. Of course, That's the death sentence for any drug addicts in this thing. So we're not through with Tori and her drug addiction. Okay, last thing we see is this romantic, or I guess we would say this conversation between Cookie and Lucius. Lucius has been chasing her since the accident, right? Since he came out of the coma. She is not that trusting. She says, yes, I love you and I want to be with you, but it can't be like it was before. I can't deal with the cheating. I can't deal with the competition. She said, I want to be your partner, me and you. We become as one and all this. It was a nice scene between the two. He didn't really give her an answer. But basically, she's saying, I want to be your partner in business, not because I want half of what you got. I want it to be our stuff, us. And that's where we leave it. That's Empire, episode 13. It's good. I'm starting to like Empire again. It kind of lost me on the last season, but I believe I'm back. All right. Talk to you next week.